Hello everyone. Today we will be learning about the femoral triangle. Femoral triangle is a triangular depression on the front of the upper one third of the thigh, which lies immediately below the inguinal ligament. The femoral triangle is bounded laterally by the medial border of sartorius, and it is bounded medially by the medial border of the muscle, that is adductor longus. And the base of this triangle is formed by the inguinal ligament. You can see the apex of the triangle is directed downwards, and it is formed by a point where the medial and the lateral boundaries converge or come together. The roof of the femoral triangle consists of the skin, superficial fascia, and the deep fascia. The superficial fascia contains the superficial inguinal lymph nodes. Then the femoral branch of the genitofemoral nerve and the branches of the ilioinguinal nerve. It also consists of the superficial branches of the femoral artery along with its accompanying veins and the upper part of the great saphenous vein. Then coming to the deep fascia, it includes the cribriform fascia covering the saphenous opening. Next, the floor of the femoral triangle is formed medially by the adductor longus and pectineus and laterally by the psoas major and iliacus muscles. Next, coming to the contents of the femoral triangle. The femoral triangle consists of femoral artery and its branches, then femoral vein and its tributaries, then femoral sheath, then femoral nerve, then deep inguinal lymph nodes, then lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh, then the femoral branch of the genitofemoral nerve. These are the contents of the femoral triangle. The femoral artery and its branches. The femoral artery traverses the triangle from its base at the mid-inguinal point to the apex. In the triangle, it gives off 6 branches, in which 3 are superficial and 3 are deep. The femoral vein and its tributaries. The femoral vein accompanies the femoral artery, and the vein is medial to the femoral artery at the base of the triangle, but it becomes posteromedial to the femoral artery at the apex of the triangle. Now the femoral vein receives the great saphenous vein, and it also receives the circumflex veins and the veins corresponding to the branches of the femoral arteries. Next, coming to the femoral sheath. Now femoral sheath encloses the femoral vessels. The nerves that are present are the femoral nerve and the nerve to the pectineus, then the femoral branch of the genitofemoral nerve, then the lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh. The femoral nerve lies lateral to the femoral artery. Femoral nerve lies lateral to the femoral artery and outside the femoral sheath. As I told, the femoral sheath encloses the upper 4 cm of the femoral vessels, that is femoral artery and femoral vein, and then femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve, but not the femoral nerve. This femoral nerve lies outside the femoral sheath and it lies lateral to the femoral artery. And it lies in the groove between the iliacus and the psoas major muscles. Next, the nerve to the pectineus. Now this nerve arises from the femoral nerve just above the inguinal ligament, and it passes behind the femoral sheath to reach the anterior surface of the pectineus. Femoral branch of the genitofemoral nerve. Now this nerve occupies the lateral compartment of the femoral sheath. Along with the femoral artery it is present and it supplies most of the skin over the femoral triangle. Next, coming to the lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh, it crosses the lateral angle of the femoral triangle and it runs on the lateral side of the thigh. Like this, it crosses the lateral angle of the femoral triangle and runs on the lateral side of the thigh, and it ends by dividing into anterior and posterior branches. The anterior branch supplies the anterolateral aspect of the front of the thigh and the posterior branch supplies the lateral aspect of the gluteal region. The deep inguinal lymph nodes lie deep to the deep fascia and they lie medial to the upper part of the femoral vein, and these lymph nodes receive lymph from the superficial inguinal lymph nodes from the glans penis or clitoris and deep lymphatics of the lower limb. The femoral sheath is to be explained in detail. It is a funnel-shaped sleeve of fascia that encloses the upper 3 to 4 centimeters of the femoral vessels. Now this sheath is formed by downward extension of two layers of the fascia of the abdomen. The anterior wall of the femoral sheath is formed by fascia transversalis and the posterior wall of the sheath is formed by fascia iliaca. Now this fascia iliaca covers the iliacus muscle and the anterior wall of the sheath that was formed by fascia transversalis. Now this fascia transversalis usually lies in the anterior abdominal wall deep to the transversus abdominis. And femoral sheath is asymmetrical. That is, its lateral wall is vertical and the medial wall is oblique. That is, medial wall is being directed downwards and laterally. The femoral sheath is divided into three compartments by the septa, that is, lateral compartment, intermediate compartment and medial compartment. The lateral compartment is also known as the arterial compartment because it consists of the femoral artery, and it also consists of the femoral branch of the genitofemoral nerve. Next, coming to the intermediate compartment, it is also known as the venous compartment because it consists of the femoral vein. Then the last compartment is the medial or the lymphatic compartment, and it is also known as the femoral canal, and it is the smallest of all the three compartments. And the femoral canal is the medial compartment and it is conical in shape, being wide above, that is at the base it is wide and narrow below, and it is 1.5 centimeter long and 1.5 centimeter wide at its base. And the base or the upper end of this femoral canal is called as the femoral ring. And the boundaries of this ring are important. Now the femoral ring is bounded anteriorly by the inguinal ligament. Femoral ring is bounded anteriorly by the inguinal ligament, and it is bounded posteriorly or related posteriorly by the pectineus and its covering fascia, and medially by the concave margin of the lacunar ligament, and laterally by the septum that separates it from the femoral vein. The inferior epigastric vessels are closely related to the junction of the anterior and the lateral walls of the ring, and the femoral ring is closed by a condensation of extraperitoneal connective tissue called the femoral septum, and the parietal peritoneum covering the septum from above shows a depression called femoral fossa. And the femoral canal contains a lymph node of Cloquet or Rosenmuller, then lymphatics and a small amount of areolar tissue. And the lymph node drains the glans penis in males and the clitoris in females. Coming to the clinical anatomy or the clinical significance of the femoral triangle, the femoral canal in the femoral triangle is an area of potential weakness in the abdominal wall. Now, through this, abdominal contents like loop of the bowel, that is intestine, may bulge out, forming a femoral hernia. And this femoral hernia is more common in females because in females the femoral canal is wider because they have wider pelvis and the size of the femoral vessels in females are smaller when compared to that of males. The femoral hernia is never congenital, and now this hernia consists of a neck and a sac. This is the neck and this is the sac, and the coverings are various layers of the sac. Now mostly the content of this hernial sac will be loop of bowel, that is loop of intestine. The course of the enlarging hernial sac is typical. It first passes down through the femoral canal, then passes downwards and then forwards through the saphenous opening and finally upwards along with the superficial epigastric and superficial circumflex iliac vessels. Now, for reduction of such hernia, reverse course has to be followed. And in case of strangulation of hernia, then the surgeon has to enlarge the femoral ring, and this is possible only by cutting the lacunar ligament, which forms the medial boundary of this ring. Now normally it can be done without danger, but complication that may arise is presence of an abnormal obturator artery that will lie along the edge of the lacunar ligament. If that gets cut, then it will cause hemorrhage in an alarming rate. So that is the complication. Next, if the femoral nerves get injured, it results in sensory loss on the anterior aspect of the thigh and the front of the leg, including the medial border of the foot till the ball of the big toe. And the lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh may also get entangled with the inguinal ligament, and it may lead to pain on the lateral side of the thigh, that is called myalgia paresthetica. And the femoral artery is exposed in adductor canal for various other surgical procedures. Now this is about the clinical anatomy related to the femoral triangle. If you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe, and you can give some suggestions in the comment section also. And thank you.